we rolling? Are we recording now? Have we been recording?
Yeah.
You get in that good. What we're going to do is we're going to do an opening bump. This is Bill Pierce. This is Meg Pierce. And we're from DFW Undercover. And you are listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Give it a whack.
This is Bill Pierce.
This is Meg Pierce.
We're with DFW Undercover. And, man, are you serious?
You say, and you're listening to Doggie Time.
And you're listening.
There you go. Try it again.
All right, this is Bill Pierce.
This is Meg Pierce.
We are DFW Undercover.
You're sure about that?
No, we're not very sure
Well,
about
let's get
that.
your business card out and look at it again, okay?
All right, this is Bill Pierce.
This is Meg Pierce.
And we are with DFW Undercover.
And you're listening to
Me. Doggie Time.
Doggie Time.
Doggie Time.
Doggie Time. I knew it.
Okay, this is Bill
And you're
Pierce.
listening to, and you're listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com.
Really? Okay, that was awful. So anyway,
We can do it again.
well, you're going to have to, because that just totally sucked.
This is Bill Pierce.
This is Meg Pierce.
We are DFW Undercover.
And you are listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com.
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it?
No, you're supposed to say I can dig it.
Oh.
Yeah, I can dig
I
it.
never tell anybody that either, and I always catch them. When I say can you dig it, you say I can dig it at the same time. That was better. That was much better. So, okay, now we are at Union Scale, so we're going to do this for free. Knock your lights out, guys. Okay, you're staring at me with hate. Oh, okay.
Go.
Minimum wage. Cough it up.
This is Bill Pierce.
This is Meg Pierce.
We are DFW Undercover.
And you are listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com.
Can you dig it?
We can dig it.
I knew that you could. Bill could almost dig it.
Foreign car drivers, has this ever happened to you?
A muffler job. Look, we got a lot of important work here.
But gee, Hugo, I bought my car here.
Well, maybe I could squeeze you in on the 5th.
Oh, great.
Of January.
January?
Yes,
Excuse me for being nosy, but is that mold and mildew I smell in your bathroom?
yes it is, and I clean it every day.
Spread, baby. Everybody's doing it. Doing what? Celebrating our country's bicentennial birthday, of course. What's that got to do with keeping your teeth clean? Plenty, that's what. We're celebrating the 200th year since we declared our independence as a nation. I hear you, man, but I don't track you. Well, figure it out yourself. One of the best ways to do this is to declare your independence from dental disease. I track you now, Sid.
Have you ever noticed, passing a man walking his dog in the street, how much they resemble each other? If you haven't, take a look next time. Somehow the leash becomes a sort of umbilical cord that establishes them as kin. I don't always find the same thing with women, perhaps because I don't always get as far as the other end of the leash. But men, it may be only my fancy. On the other hand, this fancy, in a way, is what this story is about.
It's Doggie Time. Buttons are pushed. We are back on the air.
I like pushing buttons.
You do like pushing buttons.
You see what it did there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I should have been a comedian.
You are a bit of a rebel rouser, really.
Not on purpose. I just don't like.
You do not suffer for the fool.
No, I don't. I don't like picking fights with anybody. But
Yeah, you do.
No, I really don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I see what you're doing here. No, I don't like picking fights. I just don't like stupid people, and I think we can call stupid people on their stupidity. So.
Paws up, my cats and kittens. You are listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com. I am your host and humble narrator, Bone Doggie, here to remind you that some men are born great, some men achieve greatness, and some men have greatness thrust upon them. With Bone Doggie, it had been all three. So put that in your hat and smoke it. Thank you very much. And this is our, I believe, 38th episode. Some of us have been paying attention more than others. I don't know. Mr. Producer doesn't know either. So we're going to take a wild stab in the dark and say this is episode 200 of Doggie Time. We've been a little erratic from time to time, but it's always been fun when we actually do get together. We do have a busy schedule here at DentonRadio.com along with regular life. But we're sitting here now tonight. We've got some special guests coming up. Something very interesting, a webzine. A couple folks from a webzine are going to be in. But before we get off into that, we wanted to talk about something that Bone Doggie just discovered the other day. You know that Doggie has a couple open mics. One, of course, at Abbey Underground on Sunday night, and then again at Two Charlies on Wednesday night. Well, Brother Brian Burns walked up to me out of nowhere, slapped me in the back of the head, and said, "Hey, come on up to Mabel Peabody's. We've got an open mic showing up over there." So Doggie goes up there. It's a Tuesday night, and my cats and kittens, it was a lovely little place. We've always liked Mabel Peabody's. For those of you who don't know, it's over there on University. Mabel Peabody's Beauty Salon and Chainsaw Repair. That's the greatest name ever. I just love that name. So anyway, it's where our good friend Tipsy Cups, if you remember her, she was in here a couple weeks ago from Whiskey Tongue Burlesque. That is basically their home. And Mabel has started to do some open mics. So we went over there with Brian, and our lovely Melissa Ratley was with us. And a couple of the comedians, Matt Solomon and Schmelzer, they showed up. So it's a brand new open mic by Cats and Kittens. That's on Tuesday nights. The drink specials are great. And just tell your friends about it. We need to get some musicians over there. There is no sign up, and we need to force Burns to do a sign up. He keeps it in his head. And if you know Brother Brian Burns, you know that's a scary place to be most of the time. Love you, dude. So anyway, yeah, we'd like to get some musicians over there. So that is Mabel Peabody's Tuesday night open mic over there. So go check that out. And right now, as we are sitting here in the studio, actually, it is Tuesday night. Last Sunday was Father's Day. And we want to say Happy Father's Day to all the daddies out there, and especially heartfelt Happy Father's Day, the first Father's Day, to Bam Bam, Bone Doggie's boy. If you remember, he was the bass player for the Hickory Street Hellraisers, and this was his very first Father's Day. He's got little Jax, and little Jax is going to be a bass player. We look at his hands, you can tell. So anyway, he had his first Father's Day, and we took him out to dinner, spent all our money on him, and then he took his daddy to dinner to see Superman and spent all his money on me. So I like that. That's all right. It was fair trade once. One time. That's what you get, my cats and kittens. New fathers, one time, fair trade. The rest of the time, dudes, you're screwed. So just take it as you can. Take it as you can. All right, my cats and kittens. Well, we got a show coming up. We're going to have our good buddies DFW Undercover here in the studio. Have a little chit chat with them. But until then, let's carry on. Do this show. Push the button, Max.
Doggy time.
Doggy time.
Doggy time.
Doggy time.
Doggy time.
It's doggy time. Pause up, my cats and kittens. This is your host and humble narrator, Bone Doggie, here to remind you to tune in to Doggy Time, which can be heard Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. here on DentonRadio.com. Doggy Time will fill your musical plate with such culinary goodies as local information, innuendo, murder, mayhem, and of course, the good old-fashioned family fun that is local Denton music. You'll also get the benefit, my cats and kittens, of hearing directly from our good friends, the likes of Soul Police, Backwater Opera, My Kick Drum Heart, and the occasional Hickory Street Hellraiser, just to name a few. Now, we understand, my cats and kittens, that you can't always be in front of one of these digital contraptions at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday night. Well, old Bone Doggie has got some joyous news in which to caress your earbones. You can listen to Doggy Time anytime simply by tuning in to DentonRadio.com and clicking on the banner that supports your humble narrator's visage. Or, if you'd like a direct approach, go to DentonRadio.com/Doggy Time, DOGGIETIME, where you will not only hear the latest episode of Doggy Time, you will be presented with a veritable cornucopia of past episodes, all at your digital fingertips. So feel free, my cats and kittens, to sit back, relax, and at your leisure, listen to Doggy Time anytime on DentonRadio.com. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
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 I knew that you could.
And now, friends, another edition of Bam Bam Cares.
If Carmen Sandiego and Waldo had a baby, you'd never find that kid. Bam Bam Cares.
Tune in next week, friends, for another edition of Bam Bam Cares.
Hey everyone, this is Ashley Gatta, and I wanted to take this time to talk about the Denton Community Market. The Denton Community Market is an artist and farmers market that brings together local bakers, backyard gardeners, sculptors, painters, photographers, jewelry makers, nonprofits, and just about anything else you could imagine. This happens once a week to create a celebration of Denton that you just can't find anywhere else. Every Saturday from April 6th to November 30th, the Denton Community Market sets up from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the intersection of Carroll and Mulberry. Oh, and did I mention that the Denton Community Market has live music too? Food, crafts, art, live music, and all of it local. I don't know about you, but I know where I'm going to be on Saturday. This is the Denton Community Market's 4th year, and it just keeps getting bigger and better. They even have food trucks now. For more details, go to dentonmarket.org. That's dentonmarket.org. I hope to see you there.
I'm trying to wait, 'cause love is patient and kind, but I keep running my mouth because you're running through my mind. You're feeling me too, because I don't want to guess.
Oh, Bone Doggie.
What do you desire, my little nest of vipers?
What if we did Sherlock Holmes in a film noir style?
Oh, you mean the great Victorian detective in a seedy sort of back alley setting?
It could all start on a dark, stormy night in the city.
It was a dark, stormy night in the city, just like the lady said. I was sitting in my office at 221 Baker Street, knocking off a fifth of Old Boot and reading a racing form, when she walked into my life.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes?
She was the most beautiful chunk of real estate I'd ever laid eyes on. She had flaming red hair, dangerous emerald green eyes, and ruby red lips. But of course, you can't tell all that because we're in black and white. But what really got my attention was that this angel was armed to the teeth. Oh yeah, she had a gun too.
You are Mr. Sherlock Holmes, I presume?
A chill ran up my spine, and I knew right away that I was face-to-face with the most dangerous set of curves in the underworld. That's what the name on the door says, baby. What can I do for you?
You've probably already guessed. I am Professor Moriarty.
Professor Moriarty? I thought Moriarty was a guy. I ain't got my sunglasses on, baby, but from where I'm sitting, I can't exactly picture you in a pair of boxers. Well, okay, yeah, I can, but
It's
still,
Jane Moriarty, not James. Jane!
All right, then.
Mad. Everybody gets that wrong, and it really ticks me off.
Well, sweetheart, I could spare you 5 minutes, but then I gotta go to the can. So if you got any beans, you need to be spilling them now.
Mr. Holmes, you have been a considerable pain in my backside for some time now. Last summer, I was annoyed by you on 2 separate occasions.
Only 2?
You annoyed me again when you thwarted my plans in February, and then again in March.
Oh, yeah.
I was positively hampered by your annoying interference last June.
I don't remember that.
And then you got right up my nose 2 weeks ago when you shut down my brilliant plan using the red-headed guys.
Oh, yeah. Those
Do you have any idea how hard that was to organize?
Probably a lot of paperwork.
I was so angry. I broke a fingernail when I pushed one of the henchmen in the head. That was very annoying.
So, evil genius doesn't fall out of a taxi and land in your lap, eh, sweetheart?
What?
Oh, sorry, mixed metaphor there. Go ahead.
You have 2 simple choices, Mr. Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
You can either back off and decide to leave me alone,
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
or I can put a bullet between your eyes, in which case you will ruin the carpet and the wallpaper, and definitely then you will leave me alone.
Well, I hate to burst your criminal mastermind bubble there, sweetheart. but I think you're overlooking a third alternative.
Oh, do tell me, Mr. Holmes. I'd love to see what your brilliant mind has to offer on this situation.
What if you and I shelve the firepower, hop in a taxi, and beat it on down to Denton? We can find a lovely little hole in the wall, listen to some live music, and discuss the future while we knock back a few Coca-Colas, you know what I mean?
So, you really think live music in Denton can help us solve our little differences, Mr. Holmes?
Well, it couldn't hurt, baby. We got nothing in even if jazz and a beautiful sunrise can't fix. But if we don't get in that taxi now, we'll regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday, and for the rest of
All right,
our
all right, all
lives.
right, Mr. Holmes. I get it. We'll try it your way. And we'll go Dutch. I hit an ATM on the way over here.
Whoa, so you already made a withdrawal?
No, I hit an ATM with my Humvee on the way over. There was cash lying around everywhere. It was a marvelous sight.
You know, sweetheart, I think this could be the start of a beautiful relationship. All right, my cats and kittens, you're listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. If you have been paying attention, you know that already. And it is the time of the show where we will jump into semi-reality, drag some poor sod off the street, and interview them repeatedly until they give us all their information. And we are very lucky to have in the studio with us Bill and Meg Pierce from DFW Undercover. And I guess the big question we ought to start off with is what blazes is DFW Undercover?
We are a local webzine that actually deal with local music in the DFW area and the surrounding areas. We are...
You go outside the Metroplex, do you, really?
Yes.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Well, how far out?
Not too far
Not
out.
too far.
We want to keep it in the DFW area. We're just a local webzine that actually just is very passionate about the music.
Right.
The local musicians, individual singer-songwriters or bands alike.
Right.
We just want to help promote them.
And the webzine, it is dfwundercover.com. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
There you go. So you can go up and listen to DFW Undercover, one word, right?
Yes, DFWundercover.com.
Yeah, don't type in one word, cats and kittens, just type in dfwundercover.com, and you will get these guys. And I guess we met, I don't know, when it was about
2.5 months ago.
2.5, it seems like it. Okay, so we met 2.5 months ago. And you guys just kind of popped up out of nowhere and you introduced yourself and we got to talking. And basically what you're doing, from what I understand, is just going around the Metroplex and trying to get exposure for local music.
Yes.
On your webzine.
Yes.
Now, where did this idea come from?
I'm not going to make it a long story, but I actually...
Might as well. We got all the time in the world. I can edit this.
I started this Lubbock Undercover when I lived in Lubbock.
Lubbock?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it was actually a hard copy. It was an actual magazine. And
really?
Yes.
So you went from print to web?
Yes.
I bet that's a little bit cheaper.
Yes. And it was still fun though. I mean, got to meet a lot of local music. Did a lot of stuff with radio.
Right.
Did a lot of stuff with TV. Had a lot of sponsors because I got a lot of people to believe in what we were doing.
Right.
Which that's what we're trying.
And
to
this
do
was
here.
basically in the Lubbock area.
Yes.
And I guess there's a pretty big music scene down there. It's a pretty big town, really.
Buddy Holly, you know.
Well, he's
started
dead.
Started it.
Oh, he started it. Okay.
Got a little bit bigger. And,
okay.
you know, there's some local music there, and I just think that we were a little ahead of our time there.
Really? Yeah.
And I think we're exactly where we need to be.
Well, how long ago was this that you had the magazine?
2003.
2003. Okay, so a few years. And then you guys come up to the Metroplex. You're settled in Louisville now.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is very centrally located.
Yes, it is.
Location, right? Yeah. So when you started up the webzine.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny because I threw a party and I invited a lot of friends and I wanted to introduce them to this idea, and 3 people showed up. Of course, my wife was already there, so that's okay. And then one other person, which is Kim Hutton, showed up for the party, and I was like, okay, well, there's 3 of us.
Yeah.
And we could start a small army with this, build our foundation, and gather masses while we go.
Wow, yeah.
But
it's kind of a familiar. So we started our army with 2. You know, Jake said, "Hey, you want to try this?" And I said, "Hell yeah, why not?" So you know.
Exactly, and we know we have something. We don't know exactly what it is yet. As I said, the foundation is still being built.
Right.
I do believe that we're getting a lot of fan base. A lot of people know who we are.
You're starting to get hits on. Well, you've got a Facebook page, right?
Yes.
And you're getting hits on that as
Yeah,
well.
we're at 445 today. We actually got 5 more likes today.
Nice.
And we got that in about 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad.
So I mean, that's what it's not about us. It's about local music, man.
Right.
I'm not trying to become a rock star. She's not trying to become a rock star. We care about the rock stars that are out there, the local musicians that actually want to build their careers.
So
very passionate.
You know, you've got the webzine, but are you looking at promoting or just getting awareness out for these guys? And I know you do interviews.
Yes.
You know, I was in your studio a couple weeks ago and we did a great interview. It was a lot of fun. and ironically, Cats and Kittens, Doggie was all dressed up and we were color coordinated with your couch, which I thought was just a great twist. So But now that's something you normally do, right? Is you have the couch interview.
Yes,
we have the guys that come in.
That's a section on the webzine. It's
Right.
On the couch interview.
Right.
There's different.
Yeah, we got on the couch. You did a profile. We did a profile. We have a profile interview. Then we have our actual just interviews with any kind of genre. I mean, we're an all genre. A lot of people ask if we're just metal, and I'm like, no, we're all genre.
Did you start out with metal, or was it an idea at the beginning to hit a little bit of everybody?
It was an idea from the beginning, at the get-go, that there's so much local music, so much awesome local music,
right?
And so many different genres that we just need to do them all.
Makes sense. That's the same here. You know, I mean, we had quite the smorgasbord when we started out. DentonRadio.com. I guess we had a good solid handful of CDs and acts and stuff like that, and it was a smorgasbord. It was a little bit of everybody, you know, and that was kind of neat. And we've managed to maintain that. Now, unlike us, you guys are not necessarily PG-13, or are you?
No, we're not.
I'm going to throw that out there. And there's a reason for that. But
we're not actually. I'm not going to say we're PG-13 or.
Maybe you don't have to be.
We want these bands to be. We want them to be themselves.
Right.
I mean, there are some things that we will not write about, but that we just gotta stay clear of for the benefit of our business.
Well, that was one thing I think that we had talked about, was keeping a positive tone. And and we do the same thing. The PG-13 is kind of the Doggie rule, but at the same time, it has caused a wee bit of an issue with, going back to genres, the rappers.
Yeah.
You know, and it's because their language is obviously more colorful than a lot of other type of acts, you know, and so it's kind of hard for us to find something that actually fits in there that we can actually put in the air. And so we'll go back to them and we'll say, hey, can you do this TV friendly? You know, that's the code word, is TV friendly, and a lot of them are starting to do that now. So we're getting a lot better response. But you have the freedom of the internet. You're not really tied up with anybody, really. It's just you guys are a lone entity out there in the big wide ocean floating around. You know, all by you. You're lonesome. But from what you tell me, you guys are quite busy.
Yes, we're very busy. And going back to that is, We are stepping away from the writing part of it and doing more video now.
Right.
So most of our interviews, video-wise, we do not edit. We actually try to stay to the raw, so we actually get the band how they are when they're cracking up and they're talking about whatever we ask them. And some of them cuss, and we leave it. I mean,
Well,
this
happens.
is who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, now anything X-rated, no, it won't be on.
I mean, our general rule of thumb is as long as the band or musician remains professional.
Yes.
That's a great way to look at it. That really is, because that's one of the things we're trying to promote, especially with these youngins. You run across them and they think they want to be edgy, and basically all they're being is stupid, really. But professional, you throw that word out there and it makes them think about it a little bit. And so who are you running up? I know that you're all over the Metroplex. Every time I talk to you, you're somewhere. Who have you been coming across? What are some of the bands outside the Denton area? Because we talk about inside Denton all the time, but you guys cover that outside world there. And what are you finding out there?
Really, there's a lot of good music. In the Deep Ellum area, we went to a benefit show not too long ago, and we met quite a few bands. We met like Enamored. We just did an interview last night. Of course, it was here in Denton, but Manny the Martyr.
Mm-hmm. I love that name.
Even Mark.
Decide Your Betrayal is a big, I think, a upcoming band. I think they're going to be somebody.
Beside Your Betrayal?
Decide Your Betrayal.
Wow. It's rather heady for a Saturday night, isn't it? Wow.
Idler's a really good band. They're alternative rock. They actually just changed their drummers. They're a really good band. I think they're up and coming too.
Right.
Underage.
Underage is awesome.
They're actually from the School of Rock.
Right.
And they range from age 10 to 15. Their drummer is 10, and he is amazing.
Are you seeing a lot of, children in Dallas? Because I'm hearing about them.
Yeah.
I'm hearing about that a lot. These bands that have got guys. I think the oldest guy would be like 17.
Welcome to
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Incredible band.
In the wild?
They're amazing. I mean, and what's really wild that sets the young ones against maybe some of the older generation musicians is they're actually getting on there and they're performing. They're not standing there and thinking about what they want to play.
They're doing
it.
Wow.
I mean, and I think as young as they are, they're going to set some examples for these older musicians, and they'll be like, well, if these kids can get up there and rock, this is maybe what we need to be doing.
And maybe that's not, in fact, I know that's a good thing. It's always been a philosophy of mine. No matter how good you are, there's always some kid out there that could blow your doors off. And then when you come face to face with that kid, it's a little bit of religion. I'm just saying, it's a little bit, get your attention anyway.
Yeah, we actually have an interview with Underage this coming Wednesday. We're going to go see them. And that's the different thing between us and maybe some other of our competition out there is DFW Undercover will actually go to them. And we actually do interviews on location.
Very nice.
Which in turn gives the venue that they're at some advertising.
Right.
So,
yeah, seriously, 'cause we're here and you drop their name down. That's very nice. Now, you have been dabbling in Denton. And who have you talked to up here?
In Denton?
Yeah.
Well, other than you, we've got...
That's all you need right there. You pretty much...
Absolutely. We've got Zach Smith.
Right.
Which he's...
Good old Zach Smith. He's awesome.
He's amazing.
Great guitar player. Great guitar player.
We have an interview with a band called The Spectacle coming up.
Right.
I think they actually rehearse at the Rubber Gloves. We've met Paco Estrada. I don't know if he's
love
from
Paco. Paco plays up here all the time. We did a gig with him ages ago, and man, Paco's got some pipes. That was my first comment to the guys. Paco's got some pipes. He could sing.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's
yeah,
a
so
great guitarist.
we call him technically Denton Band because, like I say, he's up here all the time.
We actually went to the Denton Jazz Fest. That
Arts
thing
and Jazz.
just blew us
Was
away.
that the first time you'd ever seen Denton Arts and Jazz?
My gosh, yes. And we were just like, wow, look at all these people and all this music.
Did you eat a gyro?
Do what?
Did you eat a gyro?
No, we ate.
It was
what
like
was it? It was kind of like a
a
buffalo.
reindeer and a buffalo hot dog.
You ate reindeer and welcome to Denton.
It was great.
It was good though.
Yeah, we go out and whack a reindeer every now and then and shove them up there. But it is always my quest at Denton Arts and Jazz to do gyros. And as a matter of fact, short story, the first year that I played Denton Arts and Jazz, I actually ended up playing 3 times that weekend. Twice with the Hellraisers, and then once with my dear friend Vanessa Helvey, the boss, as we called her. And the reason I could play with Vanessa is because it was an early gig, right? So I get up there and I play with Vanessa, jump off the stage, go to Sanger, so that I could do a gig at noontime in Sanger, got paid, so that I could come back to Denton Arts and Jazz and fill up on Euros, which is exactly what I did. It's one of the few days of my life where everything went incredibly according to plan, and just bop, 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 bop. 2 stages, Euros, sitting on my fanny in front of, I believe it was Leatherwood at the time. So, that was the first year that I played there, and we played there, I guess, 4 years in a row now.
Awesome.
And we always go for that one stage Saturday night, last act on Saturday night, and we always go up against the headliner and all, but it doesn't matter. I mean, we have our crowd, and plus they put us by the exit out there on McKinney Street. So if you're leaving, you're going to walk by the Hellraisers, and if you walk by the Hellraisers, you're going to stop at least for a minute, look at it. So, but we had 1140 up there this year. Polly Maynard and her tiny big band, Future Eyes, played up there. Kelby Shrunk's Future Eyes played up there, and a couple of Denton Radio was represented.
That's good, man.
A few acts. So that's the thing I like about Denton Arts and Jazz is a lot of it is local. Bloney Moon was also there, and they usually are. So unlike some other places where they really don't rely on the local talent. There's a couple festivals up here that do, and there's a couple festivals up here that don't. Denton Arts and Jazz always relies on it, local dancers and stuff like that.
And that's what it should be, man. Because, they should take care of their local music.
You really do, because it's your bread and butter.
Yeah, and also on top of that, we just read something that the Curtain Club actually put on Facebook, and we just think that a lot of musicians really need to take it to heart. Local music is not your competition. Local bands are not your competition. You need to stand behind your local bands.
Right.
Even if you are a local band, you still need to stand behind your local musicians. Take care of each other. Unify. Unification is very important.
Are you listening to this out there, guys? Because it's true. It is true.
Everybody's trying to run a business, and I understand it's all about the business, and everybody wants to one day make money doing this, and that's great. But you still need to help each other, and that's what it's about.
Exactly. If somebody does really well, and I think this is one of the magical things about Denton, is because we've had people that have done really well. Well, what they do is they pave the way for the other guys.
Exactly.
And we've been really fortunate. We've had Bowling for Soup and of course Brave Combo and one or two others, Sarah Jaffe and people like that, and they have basically paved a way to where so much recognition, at least for Denton, is now in the outside world.
It's good.
And organizations like you guys, and there's one or two. I've met some of your competition. It's not quite the same, which is great. Each of you guys have got your own little niche, and you've got your own little way of doing things. But it's getting the word about this town.
And Denton is important to us, and we've actually been doing a lot of stuff in Deep Ellum, and we're starting to come this way and
work your way north.
Yes, we really want to start doing a lot more stuff in Denton and doing a lot more interviews with the Denton music, and getting more involved with these venues and more involved with y'all.
Right.
And I think if we build a powerful force, a powerful local music army here, we can start pushing.
I like that word, army. I love that word, army. That's brilliant.
So I just think we can push further. I mean, we can, you know, if it feels like Denton Radio, I mean, not DentonRadio.com, we love y'all.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I love you too.
If Denton seems like it's getting saturated with just Denton music, if you build a strong foundation like you are trying to do and what we're trying to do, we build it here, we can push the Denton music towards Deep Ellum and let them start and bring the Deep Ellum over here, so people always have new music to listen to.
Yeah, that is something that we've actually discussed. One of the things that I'm interested in personally is Fort Worth, and getting gigs at Fort Worth and say, okay, fine, book me. I'm going to bring some Denton music with me, and you're going to have a night. You know, you're just going to have a night. So it's a great idea. You know, it just gets it out there a little bit more, because you could say we're saturated. I know I walked through Denton last night, you know, and I saw 8 bands in the course of one evening, and I only went in 3 blocks. You know, I didn't do the entire Doggie walk, but yeah, you know, you see a lot out there, so we are saturated. It's time to get it out a little bit and get the word out.
But that's okay, because Denton actually offers, with so many venues and so much music and so many different genres here, there's a taste for everyone.
It's true.
And that's a good thing. But if it's just Denton music, the local music here, just playing in Denton all the time, you know how hard it is to get people off the couch, to slide their butt off the couch and actually go to the venue. And if they're in the Denton area already, or if they're in the Louisville area and they're coming this way, they're like, why do I want to go see that band for the 100th time? I want to see something different.
Right.
And I think we get more bands from Dallas to start playing here, like I said, and then Denton going there. We can start promoting both ways, and get more people to slide off the couch and actually come and see the new music that's actually wanting to play here.
Right.
Because a lot of the Dallas bands we talk to, they always want to come to Denton.
That was going to be my next question. Is does the musical world outside of this place know about this town?
Yes. That we spread the word about Denton when we're out and about, when we're actually talking to these bands, we're talking about Denton.
Right.
So we're like, hey, if you are getting tired of playing here and y'all haven't gotten really any shows in Fort Worth, Denton is a perfect avenue for you, because it's a college town. There's a lot of music lovers, and the venues love local music.
Yep.
So go on, man.
Interesting. That's fascinating. All right. Well, we are going to play a little music, and then we're going to take a break. And I think I was thinking about this morning. This is an oldie but a goodie, my cats and kittens. I'm going to drag this one out and blow the dust off of it. This is a tune that is off the first CD by Levi Cobb and the Big Smoke, our good friends, and it is one of Doggie's favorites. It's called The Devil Passes Over, and you are listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com. Can you dig it?
We can dig it.
All right, push the button, Max.
Nobody knows just where or why, but he's coming down here with a shotgun to take your life. They say he comes to town at night, and running high, no doubt about it. You're gonna die, and all this talking gets us nowhere, even slower. The whole town's hoping that the devil passes over. up on the hillside, he does his will. Is he the devil or is he a man? I ain't ever seen a man who can do what he can. And all this talking gets us nowhere, even slower. The whole town's hoping that the devil passes over.
Paws up, cats and kittens. This is Bone Doggie, and I wanted to talk to you about one of my favorite spots in Denton, and that would be The Lab. The Lab is Denton's biggest sports bar, with an equally large craft beer selection. With a huge patio, live music on the weekends, sandwiches so big it makes all the other bars jealous, and a TV screen on every wall, the game is on everywhere. The Lab is as good as it gets. They're open 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. Monday through Friday and 12 noon to 2 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. So come on by to 218 West Oak Street. That's 218 West Oak Street. Check out the game. Check out the Lab. And if you come in often enough, you can check out Bone Doggie. Can you dig it? I knew that you could.
Don't you know we'll turn your head, then you go down that street. Cruise real slow, cruise the herd on me.
You messed it up, Doggie.
How?
You're supposed to say I knew that you could. I have seen you rip into people. You're supposed to say I
didn't.
Dig it, I can dig it. I knew that you could. I've never seen him not do it. Wow. 2 years and I've never seen it. Incredible.
I did that on purpose.
He's going to go edit it in later.
No, I'm not. I'm leaving it just the way it is. So push the button, Max. Quit fooling around, play the damn song.
Yeah.
We are hot. Okay. All right, my cats and kittens, we are back. That was Levi Cobb and the Big Smoke and The Devil Passes Over. And I knew that you could dig it. So ha ha ha. I'm getting a ration from the Mr. Producer over here. And guys, thank you so much for coming out and doing this. I appreciate it greatly. Turnabout's fair play. I did go down my cats and kittens a couple weeks ago and did an interview with these guys, and I guess that's going to be up on the internet when?
Next week.
Yes.
Next weekend.
Next weekend. Okay, so this is on Tuesday night, so we're legitimately coming up next weekend.
Yeah, it'll be next Saturday or Friday or Saturday.
Friday or Saturday. Very cool. And it is unedited which, boy, you guys are taking a big chance. It's not really wise to unedit Doggie anywhere, but, cool. I'll let you go with it. We'll see what happens. Like you said, raw and unadorned, right?
That's it.
There you go. All right. Well, once again, thank you so much for coming out and doing this. We have got DFW Undercover, and it is dfwundercover.com,
Yes.
not AM or FM. There you go. Same as Denton Radio.
And thank you for having us on here.
Yes.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. I love the fact that there's somebody else out in this great big giant wide world that's promoting local groups and local bands, and your scope is a lot wider, and that's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. So
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Checks in the mail. All right, there you go. All right, well, we are going to flip right on out of here, and I think, my cats and kittens, what we are going to do, I'm waiting for the squiggly things.
Yeah, you're waiting for this.
Honestly,
And okay, take it back out.
the squiggly things are back online now. Okay. I hate waiting for squiggly things. You know that. Stupid squiggly things. All right, now, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to say goodnight. And I think what we're going to do, my cats and kittens, is we are going to flip on out of here with a brand new tune by yours truly and the Hickory Street Hellraisers. A little taste of the upcoming CD. It is the title track from the upcoming CD called Kitchen Pros and Gutter Rhymes. And I'm praying to God that I do not get sued by Jethro Tull. We'll have this discussion off the air, and you'll know why. So it is good night from me, good night from you.
Good night.
And
Good
you
night.
are...
DFW Undercover.
And you are listening to...
DentonRadio.com.
Doggy time.
Doggy time
Oh,
on
Doggy time on
DentonRadio.com.
Meg got it. Okay, I like Meg. You get out of here.
Okay.
You just out of here. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we will see you all next week. Can you dig it?
We can dig it.
I knew that you could. Push the button, Max. Gather round and listen to a story, a tale of love and loss and someone dead, a soul that would not rest after breathing her last breath, and how she ended up inside my head. Oh, I remember! It was December. Each dying ember brought its ghost upon the floor. The snow was falling as death came calling and took away my dear Lenore. Oh, I was shattered, broken and battered, void left in my heart and soul. Filled with weakness, it left me speechless as melancholy took its toll. There was a tattoo of her name inside my forehead. I know it's morbid, but she's always on my mind. And though my lady wife is dead, she still floats inside my head. And though I've been struck dumb, she makes me sing my love with kitchen pros and gutter I could not mutter, no words to utter, silenced as my voice had fled. So as I'm grieving, I started singing as a ghostly hair rose up inside my head. She put a tattoo of her name inside my forehead. I know it's morbid, but she's always on my mind. And though my lady wife is dead, she still floats inside my head. And though I've been struck dumb, she makes me sing my love with kitchen pros and gutter in my head forevermore. Oh, no! The spirit's clinging, I can't stop singing. Singing about the lost one, no. She put a tattoo of her name inside my forehead. I know it's morbid, but she's always on my mind. And though my lady wife is dead, she still looks inside my head. And though I've been struck dumb, she makes me sing my love with kitchen tools and guns. Hooray!